Yeah. I am. I'm content with the content. I guess this week I just keep thinking about whether or not I am content or thankful. Because this is like, well, I guess the timeline's a little off because by the time this is out it will not be. But this is like Thanksgiving week. So doing all the Thanksgiving stuff. And I don't know, I guess whatever the topic is that I'm figuring out in my own life each week, I try to focus on that and then just start whatever it is with this and just go with it. So this week, I am content. But it feels like I'm not. It feels like I'm working on it. Like it feels like it's a job. Like being content or happy or thankful is a job. Because it's much easier to not be. It's much easier to just complain. But I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, you know, there's not much wrong with my life. Actually, I don't, you know, if we want to get real technical, there's nothing wrong with my life compared to what's wrong with people's lives. I got a pretty good setup here. But for some reason, there's always this like grass is greener thing. And I'm starting to pinpoint why that is. And most of the time, I'm why that is. I'm the reason why the grass feels greener. There are external things, like I feel like Facebook is a huge factor nowadays. Like, every day we get on this thing and we look at what other people are doing with their lives, or at least how they present their lives, you know, and we're like, ooh, that is what I should be doing, or that looks real nice. That Facebook post looks real nice, boy. I don't know. Because it's like, oh, they went on a trip. Ooh, ow, I want to go there. Or like the whole, like, you get anything over like 100 likes seems like a huge deal for some reason. You know, somebody gets engaged, that gets a lot of likes. Somebody gets married, that gets a lot of likes. Babies get a lot of likes. Just like random pictures. All this sort of stuff. Everything it is. Whatever it is, it ends up being, for me, I guess, it feels like I'm comparing myself to that person's life. And how much they are quote-unquote liked. It's so funny because it's like, it almost feels like a Black Mirror episode. Like where people are just going online and liking people a certain amount. And it's like, oh, well, that guy's not liked enough. Oh, hey, buddy, you can only come in this bar if you have 15 likes on your last status. I had 3. Because it was about a TV show no one's seen. Sorry, buddy. You get more likes and you can come on back in. So I think I do that. I think I do that a lot. I'm like constantly looking for some sort of, I don't know. What is it? I guess approval is one thing, but when it comes to being content, I don't think we're like the grass is greener because we don't feel approval. It's got to be something with I don't know. I do know that when I'm content, it is, it's like a constant effort. You have to constantly, you know, remind yourself of what's important. Remind yourself every day of all the things that are going well for you. Because it's so easy to focus on all the negatives, you know, and that's where Facebook kind of comes into play, is because nobody's like posting on Facebook, you know, had a shitty shift, sad face. It's you're putting your best foot forward. You're putting your best version of yourself because it very much is fake. Yeah, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's just a lot of it is fake. Or maybe not. Maybe that's not my place, but regardless, you know, being content is not about anybody else. We like to blame it on everything else. At least I like to blame it on everything else. I like to blame it on the decision my boss made, the customers that came into work, the students that I taught. I like to blame it on all this other stuff. And at the end of the day, that stuff might suck, it might be bad, but for the most part, when it comes to like my happiness and me being content, it's just taking a second to realize I have so many great things in my life. And you have to do it every day. You know, every day you have to wake up and just realize what's actually important, you know? And Facebook doesn't, this is too much about Facebook now, but it doesn't focus on what's actually important, you know? It's almost like when you're growing up, you're conditioned to be excited about the next big event, the next holiday, your birthday, whatever it is. You're conditioned to be excited for that big event. And for me, it feels like I was like waiting for the next event, like hanging out with somebody, doing something to be happy. It's like you're waiting in limbo until you get to do that next big thing. And then you're like, well, I'll be happy when I get to do this. But really, I think genuine happiness or being content or all this sort of stuff comes down to like consistently focusing on all the good and telling yourself, you know, kind of over and over and over why you are happy. You know, it does feel like a job. It feels like you have to work on it. And so I guess I am content. But I also think that in order to do that, you do have to be like honest with yourself. Because there's a lot of the time, like a lot of times I just bitch and moan about everything. And it's easier to complain than it is to not. It is so easy to complain. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just trying not to complain as much. Coming from the guy who has made this thing, which is just like, you know, airtime for me to complain.